everyone, we are live. Yes, if you're here live, hashtag live, let me know the volume, if the volume is okay. And if you're here for the replay, hashtag replay, and smash the heart button. Oh, darn, where's my phone? Oh yes, there's my phone. Because I see people coming in, but sometimes Facebook doesn't show me their names for some reason. Oh wait, there's Zeki. Hey Zeki, hey old babe. Hey Wasim, I'm looking this way because this is where my third screen is at. Hey Kara. So guys, if you own an agency, I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Timothy Lee today. He went live earlier this month with in Spencer Meekum's group with Rachel S. Lee. So now he's over here and he's gonna drop some wisdom about agency secrets, how he actually went from 0 to 120,000 in around 60 days. And since I don't run an agency, but I know some of you guys in the audience actually have digital agencies, why not? He'll probably give you a lot of advice that you can use, and that's what we are here for today. So thanks, Timothy, for joining us on this evening. And could you tell, I know some of the people in this group will knows who you are, but for those who don't know who you are, can you let us know a little bit of an origin story background about you?
Sure. So my name's Timothy Lee. I've been in digital marketing since I was 14 years old. When I first got started, I actually started a MySpace company. And so I was helping back in the day when Tom was your only friend, but now I like to say Tom's dead. And so I started working with entrepreneurs, and actually not entrepreneurs. I started working with recording artists on MySpace. So I was working with like the Jonas Brothers back when they had the year 3000 when they were signed to Disney. I was working with Akon, Demi Lovato, Ali and EJ. And so I was really helping them out with generating, MySpace plays by, getting people to, go to the page and listen to the music. And obviously driving album sales. I was also helping out with like the design elements. And then that led me into learning Facebook because Facebook came out. And then I, once they launched their advertising platform, I learned, Facebook and started digging deep into that. And then once I did that, I started learning how to run Facebook ads. And so, that one passion led me to another. And so now I'm helping entrepreneurs, scale their businesses as well as other, I have other clients that we run ads for. So I also own a digital marketing agency that we run ads for clients. And so, if we work with some Fortune 500 companies and I do a lot of it by cold email.
Cold email?
That is correct.
People through cold email?
That is correct. So when I first started, or not when I first started, like when I had my agency, the problem that I was running into when I was trying to get clients, because I was doing a lot of web design stuff when I first started my agency. And so then that led me into saying, hey, you guys, do you want to do marketing? I can run Facebook ads for you. And, and I was doing stuff for like $500 a month because I was like, woo, it's $500 a month. It's, whatever. And so, but the problem I ran into was that when I wanted to scale that price and when I wanted to start charging more, I was getting pushback because I was just like, oh, it's $500. I'll run Facebook ads for you, and they're like, okay, what are you going to do for $500? And I'm like, well, I'll run Facebook ads.
Personal services.
Right. I'm like, that's what I do. And so I realized that that wasn't really working so well. And, and you really can't scale your agency when you're charging $500 a month per client. And so then I started cold pitching. So then I went into like the whole, let's email a bunch of clients and, let's do like, mass email. Let's change the subject name like people do nowadays, like Mailshake and all of that. And I was like, I wasn't getting that many replies. So I remember sending out like 100 emails to like 100 different real estate agents. And I think I got 2 replies, maybe 3. And I think I had 2 calls from it. And I closed 1 client out of 100 emails. And I was like, this shit is not working. Like, like this is just not working for me at all. So I started really learning how to, go after bigger clients that had money essentially. And so that's what I did. I started going after the higher retainers and because you get tired of being nickel and dime when you start an agency. So I closed 2 clients at $5,000 a month. So I was doing $10,000 a month within 60 days.
Oh, wow. And just two clients.
Just
Does
two
that,
clients.
does that involve ad spend
No,
costs?
it was not involving ad spend at all.
I want to say, hey guys, hey Obabe, hey Dane, hey Connor, hey Rob, hey Chad. Do you know Chad Koderi? He runs a software called DashClicks, and it's for agency owners like you to
Well, this would be
automate
great
it.
for him because there's going to be like 40 other agency owners that he can network with.
Hey Chad, you should connect with Timothy because Chad has software for you for you. Hey Jason, hey Dave, hey Eric. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Can you type hashtag 11? I stole this from Chad. Chad's like hashtag some random number. If you guys are here, and smash the heart button so the rest of the group will know that this is going on, because I'm gonna ask him questions from the point of view of someone who doesn't have an agency. But for those of you who do have an agency, I want to ask some expert. I don't know what type of expert questions I can even ask, but I would ask you what type of more complicated questions that people usually ask as well. So should everyone have a digital agency or something? Sounds like as long as you talk to the more higher end clients, that 5,000 a month is like, whatever, sure. Like, they're willing to do that. So is it a matter of just knocking on the right doors, or how did you go from struggling and doing all that to actually finding the right people who won't nickel and dime you to serve?
Well, in order to not get it nickel and dimed, I started going for people who had money. So I started going for companies that I knew could afford me. Hey, if you have a modeling agency, I'll model for you. I'll strike a pose. But so basically what I did is that I started emailing people, and I started saying, if I was an agency owner, or like not an agency owner, if I was the one that was reading this email, what would make me respond to this email?
Oh,
and
that's
so
change.
Right. So, and that's when the mind shift completely shifted, because
the mind shifted.
So I was like, so I had a completely different mindset. And when you got into that mindset, it's like, okay, so, it takes some balls to go after some major companies. Cause I was going after companies that were making like $5 million and above. And I was going directly to the CEOs of those companies. And the reason why is because those companies don't give a crap about $5,000. So it's like, if you have a problem, if the client has a problem and you have a solution for that problem, that CEO is going to be willing to listen to you. So that's...
Okay. Wait, so how did you word your messaging? The shift. What was the actual shift? So what would make the CEO of a company that's pretty big, that looks at 5,000 like it's pennies, what would make them reply?
Well, what I did to make them reply to me is, I'm not going to give out all my secrets, obviously, but
of course not. But here's the thing: I want to give my audience the golden nuggets. That's why I ask these questions.
The golden nugget is personalize your email and never start with I.
Never start with I. Personalize. Correct. And so you do research on them for a little bit. And
correct. Because the thing is like, for me as an agency owner, I get messages all the time from people, and I get shit constantly where somebody will message me and they'll be like, hey, hey Tim, or what? Not even usually Tim. They'll just be like, hey, I see you on you need a new website or blah, 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 blah. I can offer you design services. I'll see you. And I'm like, dude, have you even looked at my website? Like, there's nothing on my website that says I offer web design services. I'm like, you clearly didn't take the time to look at my website and get to know me as a person and what my needs are. So why should I respond to you? So you have to look at it from a bit, a Fortune 500 company CEO. Like, for an example, I reached out to the CEO of Spirit Airlines, which was Ted Christie. And so I reached out to Ted Christie, and I was telling them about how that they didn't have a Facebook pixel. And you know, that, yeah,
Oh.
they didn't have a Facebook pixel. So I was like, hey, I see, you know, you don't have a Facebook pixel. This is what it can do. Like, this is what we could do for you because of it. So, you know, so let's jump on a call. And then, you know, one thing led to another, and now they have a Facebook pixel, and I got ghosted. But, but,
Awesome story.
but I mean, but that happens. But there's also times where, you know, they'll actually respond back to you. They'll jump on the phone with you, or they'll put you in touch with somebody who will. Like, I have a huge fashion retailer that I'm working with, and I'm doing their email marketing, and they're paying me $12,500 a month. I have a 24-month contract with them, which is $300,000. So I signed a $300,000 contract with one client, all from cold pitching. And I went directly to the CEO. The CEO put me in touch with somebody else, which was considered like AKA the gatekeeper. And then the gatekeeper pushed me on to the person I needed to talk to. I got on a call with them. 4 months later, I closed the deal. And I got a check for $12,500 a month. So
4 months later. So how many follow-ups do you have to do in this journey? Or is it like all over the place, or it doesn't matter, or there's no pattern, there's just random?
well, the biggest thing is that I've learned is that it varies by client, because some of the clients that I've code pitched, I'll get on the phone with, and I'll do my call, and I'll do my, you know, my pitch, and usually I listen to the client, I find out what their problem is, and then, you know, I offer a solution, obviously. And then, and you know, at that point, sometimes the person on the phone is like, okay, let's do this. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to get started? You know, and they'll take your credit card, give you their credit card number right over the phone, or say, okay, well, I'll ACH you or whatever. Because some of the bigger companies, you know, will do ACH, or mail you a check. But I mean, but that's fine, because, you know, they're good for it. I mean, you know, if you've got a $5 million company writing you a check for $5,000 or even $12,000, I mean, you know, you ain't gonna have to worry about that check bouncing and going through the roof sky high. So that's kind of what I did in regards to, you know, being able to scale my agency fast and being able to get to, you know, where I'm at now. Because actually this year, my agency will hit $1 million a year. So we are nearing the $90,000 a month mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
$90,000 a month reoccurring, right? Or monthly reoccurring? Or $90,000 just from
$90,000 a month.
Awesome.
I'm almost there. We're not quite there yet, but I mean, it won't take much longer. We just need to get a couple more clients, and we'll be there. So.
Awesome. I want to say hey to everyone joining. Hey, Jason. Hey, Dave. Hey, Chris. Hey, Babe. Hey, Kenna. Hey, George. If you guys have questions for Timothy, feel free to comment in the comment section and let us know. I'm going to be picking some because I want this to be interactive with you guys. And let me know if you guys are here by hashtagging 203. Okay.
Oh, now why can't you have him hashtag Timothy my face? I mean,
Timothy my face. All right, for those on Team Timothy, hashtag Timothy my face. For those on Tim 202. Okay. So actually, we have a couple questions for you. What were you selling them? Lead generation through Facebook ads, or funnels, or etc.? What is the package that you're giving these people?
it varies by client. So for me, it varies based on what the client's needs are. So like one client that we work with, we do email marketing for, and do, artist, list segmentation, because they had like 4 million people on their list and they weren't, they weren't segmented by male or female. So they were sending out emails that weren't targeted based on their, their gender. So, we did that, and we did email marketing for them. We did targeted email marketing, obviously, because we were, segmenting the audience and then moving that into, email marketing. Some of it's, lead generation with like running Facebook ads and bringing leads. That's usually what the majority of it is running Facebook ads for the companies. With e-commerce as well, we've got some e-com, big e-com people. But even for like my smaller clients, like, we still work with like your chiros, your dentists, your gyms. We still do those niches as well. And even with those niches, I won't touch a client from those niches for less than $3,000. And I have a minimum of $1,000 ad spend. So I'm usually getting $4,000 a month, even out of those clients. But obviously, I'm only taking 3,000 of that, and the rest of it goes to, Facebook ad spend.
Hey guys, so for those of you who, for me, here's my question. That sounds like a good model to do if you want reoccurring income. When you pitched it, starting off at like $5,000, did you have a team in place or is it you?
I do have a team. I mean, I do obviously, but when I pitch
No,
it,
not now, when back then.
yeah, I had a team. I did. I mean, I've always had a team, and it's never been just me because I mean, I would always outsource if I needed help or whatever. I mean, I was doing all the ads myself, but now I obviously have a team. But the funny thing about it is all this code pitching that I've done from a Gmail account. So I wasn't using, like, these companies did not know my website. They didn't know my company name. They didn't know any of that. So I did all of this from a Gmail account. So I closed $120,000 worth of deals from a Gmail account, and even the $12,500 retainer that I closed, they didn't even know my website, like, at all. I mean, she didn't even ask for my website. I mean, it was literally like, hey, he's got a great idea. Let's jump on a call with him. Let's listen to what he has to say. And then that one thing led to another, and then I was on the phone. So you don't have to, and I didn't have any funnels going. I didn't have any Facebook ads going. I didn't have any of that. So, I mean, now obviously I just actually started running Facebook ads probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago is when I first started running Facebook ads to generate my own clients for my own agency, only because it brings in clients a lot quicker than it does, if you're doing code pitching. Because code pitching is a process. And you've got to have patience for it because sometimes it takes longer to close the deal versus if you're running, like with me running Facebook ads, sometimes I can, you can get clients a lot faster that way. But you're not going to get the larger retainers. So, so I do a mix of both only because I like to diversify my income. And in order for me to get to $1 million, that's what I'm doing. I mean, if I send out a ton of pitches, every week, and I mean, I could do it that way and grow my agency to $1 million off of just that. But I mean, why not just run some Facebook ads and I have a team that, manages that and still code pitch and grow your agency even faster.
Oh, I have an interesting insight on that kind of thing where you don't need to have a website, have like a bunch of things. And there are people in the world who will just, hey, here's my credit card, take care of it, get it done. And they trust you. That's pretty insane, but it's not so, it's insane to people who aren't in the world of doing that. But for the more I talk to agency owners, the more it's like, oh, that's not so crazy. That's actually real and that happens. And I feel like a lot of people feel scared to get into having their own agency because it sounds like, oh, I gotta have like this huge team. I gotta have all this, results, and I gotta have all these things. And you're telling me that that's not really the case, right?
Well, no, because you don't have to go to them with results, because when I went to all the companies that I've been working with, they didn't ask for results. Like, they didn't say, oh, do you have results? I mean, like, I've got, like, for my agency side of things, I have a client that it white labels my agency services because we white label our services to other agency owners. And he didn't have any case studies. And he closed $20,000 worth of new clients in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
$20,000 a month with no case studies, all just from, reaching out, having a problem, finding a problem and offering a solution. Like, and that's the thing. And that's the thing I find that with people, like, getting clients is not that hard. You just have to find a problem and offer that person a solution. And you have to be able to show ROI. Because, like, if you're going to want to, bring a client on board, you have to be able to say, okay, well, if you pay me X, then you're going to generate X, Y, Z. And then,
that's so good.
Right. Because, like, for like an example with like chiropractors, you find out what the lifetime value of a chiropractor is, for like what their average patient lifetime value is. And if their average lifetime value is, let's say, $3,000 and your retainer is $3,000, you say, hey, look, dude, if I bring you one appointment that shows up at your door and you have one customer, you're broke even. If I bring you two, you just made $3,000. So, like, it makes that thought process go a lot faster when closing clients, because you're like, hey, here's an ROI. I can do this for you. And all you need is one client. And if I don't get you one client, then, obviously somebody's not running ads right.
Then fire me.
I know. I mean, it's like if you're not getting clients that, for your clients, and obviously, you need to do, take some ad classes and learn how to do, do ads.
Yeah. Oh, we actually, Vincent has a question. So what part of the business can you outsource as a beginner? Hey, Vincent. Hey, Jason. Time to close some biz. Okay.
Well, I mean, you can really outsource, like for the agency side of it. I mean, if you want to work with a white label guy, like one of my white label guys that I'm actually referring to is really good with sales. But he doesn't know Facebook ads that well. He's not that great with Facebook ads. And he partnered with me and came to me and said, hey, I want to work with, can you white label for me? Can you run ads for my clients? And then I pay you, X, Y, Z. You run all the ads. I manage the customer. And all we're doing is running the ads. And I'm like, sure. So for me, it takes out the customer communication because I'm not communicating directly with the customer. I'm communicating with my white label guy, and then he's communicating with the customer. And so that's something that we've, that's one suggestion that I would have as far as like people wanting to start an agency, but not wanting to run the ads themselves. Because, you can find somebody to do it, or you can learn to do it yourself.
And do you have any clients who are like software people? Because I'm asking from a selfish standpoint. I have a lot of people in my course, and they're all coming out. I find myself looking at a pool of people who eventually do need to run ads to, Facebook ads, to their software, things like that. Do you have any clients that are software related? And if not, then what way would you approach getting software people as clients?
I mean, I don't currently have any active software clients as of right now. We have done some stuff with software companies. I've worked, the thing is with me is like, I've worked in all the way from like the heavy truck industry. Like we worked with LKQ Corporation, which is a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
They were selling semi-truck parts, and they had 4 retail locations that were failing. We came in and helped, save those locations. So that's one client that we've done stuff with. We've done like automotive, real estate. I've done e-commerce with clothing. I've done, gyms. I've done gym equipment. I've done all sorts of stuff. And I've done software before, obviously, but, from a software standpoint, I've learned that you can get clients with Facebook ads on a software standpoint. And so that is definitely a good way to get downloads and to get people to download the product that you have. We've done some stuff with applications, like for iPhone. And we're actually working with a book author right now because I've done some stuff with book authors. And so I have a PR person that refers me clients, and, she's only, artist PR. And so, I'll get calls randomly from clients that'll be like a PR person and be like, be like an author. And she's like, oh, so-and-so sent you, and recommended you talk to you about, running ads. And I was like, okay, let's chat. So, that just happened like last week. And then I got another message today from somebody else that was like, hey, I got recommended to you. Can we talk? And so now I've got 2 authors in just this week alone. So, I've already made $6,000 this week, a month, just off of, referrals.
Yeah. And I can see that, what is it? I'm beginning to wade into the more higher ticket world because I don't know, I went to a conference and and so I saw that more things are possible if you meet the right people.
Right.
It seems like for people just starting out, the idea of clients like those are so scarce. And to you, it's more like, oh, it's more commonplace now. But how did you, one of the people's question was, they want to know how you moved up the food chain. Dave's like, I'd love to hear how you moved up the food chain, Timothy. But was it like a difficult journey going to that point?
Not really, to be honest. It just takes a lot of, for me, the thing is for me is like, I didn't go the route of, I didn't get mentors involved. I didn't get coaching involved. Like I didn't do any of that. Like, I've only taken like 2 courses in my life that I've taken. Like I took Maxwell Finn's Academy IQ course, which is now, Unicorn Innovations. I took his Facebook ads course, but I was already familiar with Facebook ads at that point. So it was just me kind of like getting a refresher. And that's when I learned about like the free plus shipping and, and he did like $4 million with the Donald Trump coin. by selling Donald Trump coins. They had like a partnership with like Kevin Harrington. So like Kevin Harrington did like $4 million. And so that's, that's pretty much, how I did it.
Whoa. So for anyone who is thinking about starting an agency, do you just say like, hey, you don't need to take a lot like masterminds or things, you just can barely take a few courses, you just have to, what would you say?
No, because I feel like for me, I feel like that if I would have done a lot of stuff differently, I would have gotten to $1 million a lot faster. Because I've been doing this since I was 14 years old, and it literally took me this long to get to $1 million. And that's because I did it through trial and error. So like for me, it was like, fuck up, maybe get somewhere, screw up again, maybe get somewhere. And it was like, that was kind of the issue that I was having. And so if I would have gotten involved in like masterminds, and like I went to Funnel Hacking Live this past year, and and all this different stuff, and and I've kind of, when you go to events and when you surround yourself with other people that are in the industry that you're in, I feel like that it lights a firecracker under your ass. Because like for me, after coming back from Funnel Hacking Live, I was like, oh my God, I got to do this. Like I got to get a 2 Comma Club next year. Like my ass is going to be on that stage. Like, like it lit that fire under my ass. And that's the reason why I think going to events is so important. And I think that if I would have done that 4, 5, 6 years down, previously, I would have been a lot more than $1 million right now. I mean, I could have been at like $5, $6, $7 million. But that's what happens when you don't go the route that I feel like getting involved with like mentors and like coaching and like masterminds and stuff like that.
Yeah, because part of some masterminds is access to a bunch of other people who can afford a certain level of, budget, right?
Correct.
So if you're involved in that world and you're going to these events with all these other people who are in the similar route, then it would be much easier to meet the right type of people who can afford your services, or, have you be comfortable and not like,
well, yeah, because
bye.
The thing is for me is like, if you get in a room with a bunch of other agency owners that are just like you, some might be further along in the process, then you just get your head in the right place, because you're like, okay, it makes you more driven. And so like for me, like I met a bunch of friends at Funnel Hacking Live. Like I met Spencer Meekum there. Now he's a client of mine. I met Rachel S. Lee, which is also now a client of mine. I met Doug Bolton, which is also now one of my really good friends and also becoming a client. And so, and I feel like that's kind of the pluses of going to these events, is that you never know who you might meet that might later become a client. Like, I mean, I never expected to be doing, what I'm doing now with like putting an event on. I never thought about, I was going to be going live with Spencer Meekum, who's done over affiliate, $1 million in affiliate commission. And I never expected things to go where they are now, but it happens, and it happens by going to an event, because you meet other people that are like yourself and you surround yourself with that crowd. And it's just a better experience, and it makes you want to do things a lot faster and scale. And I mean, and for all you could be meeting up with somebody, you could be meeting up with somebody at a mastermind or an event that you can make $1 million with. So, I mean, you could literally be sitting next to somebody that can make $1 million.
Yeah. I did go to Funnel Hacking Live, and I found some of my group converters. Shout out to group converters. Some group convert, like a group convert partner, group convert user. They're doing like 200,000 a month in their own just businesses, and it's just like, for them, there's just like, oh, this is normal. And to me, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I don't even know who you guys are. Like, who are you? And then, they tell me what else they're doing. Like, they own 5 other businesses. And so it's really cool to actually meet people, definitely at live events. I love it. I thrive on it now. I meet people and they're like, hey, Kim, how are you? And then, and then I end up just meeting and later on talking to them. But when I'm at the event with them, it's like our energies vibe. I'm like, you're amazing. And they're like,
Right.
so are you. And we're like, oh my God. But anyways.
Exactly. And that helps because it pushes you to do so much more stuff when you have that, have that energy around you. I mean, the thing I say is that if you want to be an NBA shooter, and you want to play in the NBA, then you're going to want to surround yourself with shooters because that's what makes sense, right? So if you want to be an agency owner, if you are an agency owner, if you want to scale your agency, if you want to get into the agency side of it, then you want to be around other agency owners because it just makes sense because those are other people that are just like you. And you guys can share the same, you can talk, you can share struggles, you can share ideas, you can bounce stuff off of each other. And then, and then a lot of the times people will join together and then they wind up, putting their forces together and combining their knowledge and blowing up and making $1 million bucks. I mean, that's basically the joy of networking and being at an event.
All right. And events aren't really cheap. Do you go to events that are free and you found good people from them, like meetup groups or anything like that? Or are you just talking about events where you're paying like several thousand just to pay for all the trips and plane flight, hotel, everything?
I feel like that for myself personally, I've only done one free meetup and that was like BMI or was something like that. I don't even remember what the hell it was called. And I didn't get anything out of it. I mean, for me, I didn't get anything out of it. And I haven't done the Chamber of Commerce thing. I haven't went to the Chamber of Commerce meetings and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, those are all small business owners typically. I mean, they're not going to want to pay you $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month for a retainer. I mean, maybe some of them, but at least, I've never went to one myself to try to, go after it. I mean, I know that some people have and have success with it, but it's just not my avenue, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I was in a room where people paid $3,000 to be there, it's just a very different atmosphere. It's very full of abundance and not so, you don't feel that uncertainty as much.
Correct.
From that type of room. But so I get what you're saying. I feel it. It's happening.
It's happening. It's vibing. Come on.
The skies are parting. Hey, Nick. Nick does, Nick does a lot of things, but he is very successful with MLM.
What is up, Nick, my brother from another mother?
Daniel and Julian says, how can you share this? You can share the link of this group to your friend if your friend wants to come watch it. Or after this, I'm going to also have this be available on my YouTube channel. So I'll link all those things so that your friend can see this. Because he asked several times, so I want to make sure. If you're not in this Facebook group, then they most likely won't be able to see it now because, I'm doing this interview. I don't want to click around and stuff. But afterwards, it's going to go on YouTube and it's going to be available as a replay here. So that just join here or go to YouTube. All right. Guys, if you have questions for me besides how can someone else watch this, ask agency-related questions because Timothy, from the sound of it, he's gone through the trenches and he's been doing this for a long time. And he knows kind of now what works, what doesn't work. So if someone's just starting out, Timothy, if you were to start all over again and you're 14 or not 14, but you're at a normal, you're 14. How would you as yourself now tell your 14-year-old, this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do. What would you tell them?
I would have went to events and I would have started joining courses ahead of time. And I would have probably got a coach. And that's pretty much what I would have done. Because then you were able to, because then at that point we're able to more so go back in time and get further along the process, because that's kind of the couple things that I regret. So to answer Julian's question, do I employ people or I use contractors? I do both. And then for Jason's question, if we're using you for white label, how do we know what to price services at? Basically, if you white label another agency, whether it's myself or another agency, you usually will get a price from them of what they will charge you for a white label services. And then you just basically put a margin on top of that. And then that's the margin that you make.
Oh, say that again. So let's say Jason hired you. Jason's history is he's a serial entrepreneur. He has a lot of brick and mortar companies that are doing well, real estate, as well as security for the home and all these things for the house. So like, what would you use it for? Like, how would you white label, Jason, let us know, like, what would you reach out to Timothy for if that's...
Yeah, basically you would reach out to me and for anybody that'd be interested in the white label thing, you'd reach out to me, we'd talk about it, we'd come up with a number, and we would discuss prices, basically is how it works. And then you figure out what your margin's going to be, and then you do the margin. And, or you can come to the event that we're having, and or you could come to the event that we're having, and can we go ahead and should we jump into the details about it, Kim?
Oh, Jason's like, my agency. Wait, Jason, you also have an agency? Man, I don't know. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let's jump into the details. So if you guys have more questions about anything agency related, we'll answer your question. But I want to let Timothy tell you guys about this upcoming event. It's a whole month out, right? So there's plenty of time for you to jump on it and meet him and meet a bunch of other amazing people. So go ahead and tell us about your live.
I'm putting together, I am actually hosting an event called the Marketers Elite Mastermind, and Kim will actually post her link, and you will actually be able to learn from a bunch of different speakers. We have Maxwell Finn. Maxwell Finn has done over $4 million with Trump Coin. He is also a 2x 2 Comma Club winner. And so you will be able to meet him, listen to him. Blake Newbar is actually going to be there as well. Blake Newbar actually went from 0 to $1 million in 43 days. He is one of the top people to hold the fastest 2 Comma Club. I actually found out that somebody actually beat him. Who?
Yeah.
Rachel Lee.
Rachel beat Blake?
Yeah.
What? With what funnel?
Rachel did it in Rachel and her team did it. I think she said like 20 something days. I think it was. They did $1 million.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So she's going to be there. She's going to be talking about like monetizing YouTube. Maxwell Finn is going to be sharing like Facebook ad strategies, how to use like surveys, as well. How to get how to compete with other competitors. So how to get traffic cheaper than your competitors do. And then Jeff Miller is going to be covering a bunch of different stuff like an email sequences that he used. And Blake Newbar is also going to share like the only agency funnel that you're going to ever need as an agency owner, like what funnel you can use to get clients. And then we've also got him also sharing the only agency proposal that you're going to need. So once you wind up having a client, what proposal you need to use. So he's going to cover that. And then we've also got Pierce Grimes that's covering LinkedIn. So Pierce is going to talk about how you can get clients using LinkedIn. And then we've got a couple other people that are going to be coming in, like Robin and Sean Alex, that are going to be talking about how to solve the no-show academic, and how as a agency owner you need to be you need to be not looking at other agencies. You need to be looking at software companies, because your real competitors are software companies, not other agencies.
What? Say that again. What? What do you mean?
Your real competitor as an agency is not other agencies. It's other software companies.
What about software companies that white label agency work?
Well, I mean, that's different, but I'm just saying in general, like, people need software is what I'm getting at. So like if you have software and that's actually what what they're actually talking about is actually software that you use as an agency that helps solve problems with the no-show epidemic. Because a lot of the thing is a lot of these marketing companies are bringing software in, they're bringing like automation in, they're bringing like AI in, they're bringing in like all of this different stuff. And that's basically, what they're going to be talking about, like why it's important to be able to stay on the cutting edge and bringing in software, because other software companies are obviously going to be going after other marketing agencies. And so that's the reason why, the reason why.
Oh, and Daniel, this is live right now. This is not the replay. So
we are live.
We are actually live, Daniel. We're live.
So we're going to be covering that. And then I'm actually going to be covering code pitching. So I'm going to be going into code pitching, and, I'm going to be sharing some strategies about, how I went from 0 to, 300,000. We're going to be, I've got some secrets that we're going to be giving out. We're also going to be doing some live Facebook account ad audits. We're going to be answering anybody's questions. And so we're really going to be showing people how to get clients, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on, wanting to get them from LinkedIn, whether you want to get them from cold emailing, whether you want to get them, or whatever case and avenue is that you want to get clients, you're going to know how to get clients to grow your agency or to scale your agency or whatever. Because a lot of people that are coming to the age, like a couple people I know are wanting to quit their 9-to-5. And so they want to know how to get to 10 grand, how to get to $10,000 fast. And so like I've got one guy that's working a 9-to-5. He's sick of it, and he's a digital nomad. He's traveling all over the world. They visited, I think, 39 countries in 18 months, I believe it was. And he wants to quit that. He wants to quit his job and focus on his own business. So that's one example of clients. We've got people that are coming that are in affiliate marketing, and they're wanting to move into the agency side of things. They're wanting to learn how to do an agency. Some people that are just starting agencies. Some people that are wanting to scale. So, there's really a wide variety of people that are going to be at the event, which I think is, really important to be able to surround yourself with, with other agency owners, and as well as, other 6- and 7-figure earners that are going to be, teaching and answering questions and doing live trainings. Like Doug Bolton is actually going to be talking about how he went from 0 to 100 and something thousand, and the #1 OFA winner. He actually won the OFA challenge, and he's #1. So he's signed up over 600 people. So Doug has actually made over $60,000 off of the One Funnel Away challenge. So he's going to share some information about that, as well as how he went from 0 to 100 and something thousand in like 90 days, I believe it was, and how he got
that's insane.
Yeah, and he's also a dream car winner in like 90 days, I believe it was.
Yeah, Doug is one of my testimonials for one of my softwares, My Own Extension. That's what it's called. It's called My Own Extension. But wow, looks like your lineup is a lot of people. It sounds like that's a lot of people. I went on your website and I saw speakers, like I saw like 4 maybe, but I didn't know Doug was going to speak, or all these other people were going to speak as well. So that's interesting for me to know that there's going to be even more advice.
Oh, you only saw 4. We have 9.
Yeah, from the site. Hey guys, go ahead and verify what I just said. Click on my link and check out.
There is 9.
The site. See if there's 9 or 4.
There is 9.
But
there is 9 speakers on the website.
Casey's like, everyone here gets free tickets to the event.
Nobody gets
high value people who pay attention. And so high value event, you guys. Yeah, a lot of those names that you mentioned, I've met them as well, or they're in my world. I know them. And what he's saying, you guys, these people are amazing. I don't know Maxwell Finn, but I've heard his name rotate around too. How did you manage to link up with these influencers to speak at your event?
Well, I've kind of been talking to Max for a while on Facebook Messenger. I guess you could say he was like a part of my Dream 100, I guess you could say. So I was following him, and I was talking to him for quite a while, and we just really, I just literally messaged him, and I was like, hey, I'm like doing a mastermind. I want to do a mastermind. If I put it together, would you be willing to speak? And, and he said, yeah. And so then and of course I met Rachel Esley at, Funnel Hacking Live, and I met Doug at Funnel Hacking Live. And so then I just reached out to them and was like, and Pierce Grimes actually. And I was like, hey, I want to do this event. Do you guys want to come and speak at it? And, and that's just kind of how it worked. I also, met Blake Newbar there actually as well. And so Blake and I had been talking on Facebook prior because we both lived in Florida. And so we both kind of was relating to like living in Florida, and like we were talking about different areas and stuff. And so then when I met him in person, that obviously, solidified it. And when I was doing this event, I was like, hey, do you want to, come speak at my event? And he's like, sure. So.
Oh yeah, I saw Pierce Grimes. I don't know much about Pierce Grimes, but he's one of my first QuickConvert users, or one of the QuickConvert users that came in first. And he's just this random person to me. But now you're like, Pierce Grimes? I'm like, what? How come the world is so small? What the heck?
Well, Pierce is actually, Pierce isn't really that known it's really not that known. But that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to bring in some big names as well as some people that have had success that can share their success. Because just because you have it's like I got an email the other day from, James Smiley. There's some 2 Comma Club winners that are broke now. Like, there's some 2 Comma Club winners that are broke. So, just because, you got a 2 Comma Club or you got a big name, doesn't mean that you can't share a lot of knowledge and have a wealth of, information. And Pierce has got a, really good LinkedIn strategy. Like, he's generated over like $6 million for his clients in revenue. Like, he's got his own agency. He's doing like six figures with his own agency, and he just had a ton of value. And so, and he's also, a friend of mine. So, and with Doug's got, a really good value to share. And I think Doug's got a lot that he can provide as far as value goes. And so that's, pretty much how I pick my lineup of speakers. I picked it based on value, not because of name recognition. Some of them are name recognition, like, like my Maxwell Finn and my Blake Newbar, and like my, Pierce, like my Rachel F. Lee and a couple others.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to know. If they have something valuable to share, they're sharing. And I think your event is kind of like, it's not like hundreds and hundreds of people going where you're in the crowd trying to talk to people, right? It's more intimate, it's smaller. So if you guys show up to the event, you're going to most likely be talking to these people face to face, right?
That's correct. So that's what I want to, emphasize a little bit, is that we only have 40 seats. This is a very small event. Well, we don't have 40 seats now, but there's only 40 seats in the room. And we have a very small, intimate room, which is what I was going for. We've already completely sold out of VIP, because we had VIP tickets, which we're completely sold out of now. And which had some really cool stuff which is why they sold out so fast. And another thing that I think is important to add as well, that I think is really important for a lot of people to know, is that if you come to this event and you feel like by noon on the first day of the event, if you feel like that you don't get at least 2x your money's worth by noon on the first day of the event, come up to me personally. I will refund your travel expenses. I will refund your ticket. I'll give you free live recordings of the event on me. I will give you $100 to go enjoy dinner, and I will take care of everything. So that's how confident that I am that this event is going to provide a lot of value. You're going to learn so much from it. You're going to be able to scale your agency to anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 and above by, using the information that we're going to provide to you at the event.
Oh my God, that's insane. So a bunch of, I know, that's like a lot of value, you guys. That's how confident he thinks you're going to really enjoy and really take a lot away from the event. Now, Daniel is saying he's in London. Where is the event? The
event is in Orlando, Florida. The event is July 19th and 20th in Orlando, Florida. We are hosting the event at the Wyndham Orlando International Resort on iDrive. And we have a group discount rate for rooms. Rooms are about $129 a night right now until tomorrow. We only have a few rooms left. I think we've got like 5 or 6 rooms left maybe. And that is pretty much where we're at. We only have 10 tickets left right now. So we have 10 tickets left. So if you guys want to get your tickets, you guys want to get your seat now. We've literally just put tickets on sale about 2 weeks ago, and we have literally almost sold out the event. And I have ran no Facebook ads other than retargeting, because everybody's going to go to the site and see my ads. So you are going to get it is retargeting. So you are going to get retargeted, but we're not running any code traffic campaigns right now. to bring in people to the event. I've just all been doing it off of Facebook Lives and stuff like that.
Yeah, Tony says that's dope. And Aaron James actually is the founder of Insu Tanto, a place dedicated for agency people to quickly get a website up. So Aaron, you should get a ticket. You'll be around your people.
Well, yeah, because you're going to be around you're going to be in a room with 40 other agency owners. So, I mean, that's the great thing. That's the great thing about it. So if you want to know the pricing, go to the website. Pricing is on the website. You can click on Kim's link, go check out the site. All the pricing, all the information about the event, all the speakers, all the bios on the speakers. If you have any questions, on there as well. My bio is on there as well. And so you can read up on them. You can also read up on what everybody's going to be speaking about. And you can get all the information about the event on the website. And then once you book a ticket, you will get sent over your hotel link so you can book your hotel. And yeah, so that's pretty much what's up.
Wow. Sounds like a really good event since it's so intimate.
I like the intimacy side of it, though. I feel like that having the intimacy side of it brings a big factor, because I feel like then people can actually walk up to a speaker. Like, I had one guy that bought a ticket, and he literally sent me a message, and he's like, I'm going to be the guy in the back of the room. And he's like, and you probably won't even recognize me, and you probably won't even say hi to me or shake my hand. And I was like, dude, I'm going to shake everybody's hand. I'm going to talk to everybody. Like, everybody can walk up to me. I will have a conversation with you. I will talk to you. I'll answer your questions. Like, I'm going to be hanging out at the hotel, obviously. And like, a bunch of us are going to be hanging out like after the event and during the event. And it's going to be a really good networking opportunity. You're going to be in a room full of people that are just like you, have been there. I've been in those shoes. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to have your months where you make 5,000, 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 3,000. Like, I've been there. Like, I've had that struggle. I know what it's like to be there. And now I want to help other people get to where I'm at faster than what it took me to get there. So that's kind of my mentality.
Yeah, and live events are, I think, the most transformative way of changing your life. It's very, very different than going and watching some course videos and just talking to people virtually. I've seen a lot of breakthroughs at live events, especially smaller, more intimate ones. The chance of you getting that aha moment, or like you got a fire lit up under your ass, happens very frequently at live events. So it's crazy that you got all these influencers together and it's like still small and intimate. So I feel like that's insane.
Yeah, I know. And it's a lot of, and the funny thing is I've actually had people messaging me, and when they found out the ticket price, and they're like, dude, why aren't you charging like $9.97 for this? They're like, this should be easily like $1,000 ticket. And I'm like, well, it's my first event. Like, this is my first time putting an event on. And I wanted it to not scare people away, but I also wanted to still provide enough value that people would come. And I feel like that there's a lot of people that I've been in that shoes where, being able to, pay $1,000 for a ticket seems like a lot of money. But at the end of the day, $1,000 for a ticket's not a lot of money when you could turn around and make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 from the event. We're literally, I would probably say that if everybody in the room that comes takes action based off of everything they're going to learn, they're going to make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. Like, just like that. It's just, you have to, put an action plan together based off of what you learn from everybody and go out and do it. And everybody's going to have their laptops. We're going to have Wi-Fi. So I'm sure people will be in the room, like, doing stuff as we're telling people. And, some people might even get clients in the room. Spencer actually told me that I should help everybody get their first client if somebody doesn't have a client. Another thing that we're doing is we're going to take headshots. So everybody's going to get a professional headshot so you can use it on your LinkedIn page or your Facebook. So we're going to have, professional headshots by a professional photographer. So that's going to be on the house. I'm also paying for everybody's breakfast on Friday on the 19th. So we'll be serving breakfast for everybody. And then we have 2 packed days of speakers and value and a bunch of content and a fun time, because that's what it's all about, right?
Wow. your price is ridiculous for the events. So guys, if there's only 10 spots left, jump on it, because it's not super expensive, and you're gonna be in a intimate room with all these crazy influencers that you see up on, all the leaderboards, Doug, Rachel S. Lee, Max Welfin, all these people in a room of only 40 people. You're gonna be there, and then all of them are gonna be there. So it's pretty insane, and there's only 10 tickets left. So, and it's less than 1,000. So you guys know that it's actually a ridiculous price. I saw your price and I was like, that's kind of low, like in my head.
I thought about that afterwards too, actually. But it's okay, because it's giving people an opportunity to come that normally otherwise wouldn't be able to afford something like this. And it can really change. I want to change people's lives. I mean, I want to make an impact. I want to make a difference with people. I want to see other people become successful. I want other people to know what it's like to be successful. And, come on now, you don't have to pay, at the end of the day, the cost of my mastermind is literally so cheap that, I mean, it's like college. I mean, it's like way cheaper than college. And you're going to, college isn't going to teach you how to make $10,000 a month. I mean, they're going to teach you how to, go to school for something and then go try to find a job. And, and then you're still reporting to somebody else, and you're still not owning your own business. And it's like, fuck college. And do this. Like, I didn't go to college. Like, I didn't graduate high school. My mom pulled me out of high school when the Columbine shooting happened. So I didn't even go to high school. I homeschooled for 1 year. So I didn't go through high school at all. I actually got pulled out of middle school. So I guess you could say that I'm a high school dropout. And I'm about to make $1 million this year. So, I mean, I think that just goes to show you, like, what you can do if you set your mind to it. And coming to this event is going to obviously help you get there. And, we're going to help change your life.
Yeah, and there's free breakfast, and then you have a headshot professionally for your LinkedIn. So many benefits. That's crazy for your price.
I think the networking side of it is probably, the networking side of it is obviously extremely valuable.
That's worth thousands.
Yeah, the networking itself is worth thousands. I mean, you're going to be in a room of all the speakers that we have are making at least 6 to 7 figures. I mean, we don't have one speaker that's not a 6-figure earner at this point. And some of them are even 7 figures, and I'm about to be at 7 figures myself. So, you're going to be surrounded by, very knowledgeable people, very successful people that want to share your knowledge. They share their knowledge with you and show you how to be successful, and how to show you how to get there at a lot faster pace than I did, which is actually why I'm doing this. So that's, I don't know. I feel like, nobody wants the struggle bus, and everybody wants to move a lot faster. And I feel like that if you have the struggle bus, I feel like some people get burned out. And so I feel like that if you do move things along a lot faster, then, you won't get burned out as fast.
Yeah. So guys, if you resonate with his message, with the messages, you tried to start an agency, you're struggling along, it's time for you to stop struggling. It's time for you to actually stop struggling, because it really is about the people that you meet, about the connections that you have. And I can say myself, I went to an event where people paid $3,000 to be there. There's no a lot of free stuff or anything. It's just the person in that room gave us so much value and breakthroughs. And at the same time, I met people who became, they see my $1,000 course as nothing, and then they see a bunch of value in it. So they're like, Kim, I want to have a talk with you, on Monday. So it's I'm like, oh wow, all these people. And what you'll get with all these people who are playing at a bigger level than you are, if you're struggling, this is where you have to be, especially if you want to start an agency and you want to finally meet the right people to be able to take you there. So get on it, click the link, check out his crazy price.
get your ticket and change your life and scale your agency and get to your first 10,000. If you already have an agency and you want to scale your agency, then, let's do it. Let's get there. I scaled mine to almost $1 million this year. And you can do it too. I mean, if Rachel Leslie can make $1 million in 20 something days, Blake Newbar can make $1 million in 42 days. I mean, you can get to $1 million and you can get to $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever number you want to get to. I always tell people, I've got one guy that's coming. He's like, I want to make $5,000 a month. That's all I want to make. And I'm like, dude, stop thinking like that. Like $5,000 is not shit. Like that's that'll barely pay my rent. Well, that'll barely pay my rent. So, I mean, it's like, I couldn't even live off of $5,000 a month. So, I mean, and that's kind of you've got to be in that mindset. Like, you've got to have the bigger numbers in your mindset. So, you've got to think, okay, I can make $10,000 a month. What do I need to make $10,000 a month? I've had days where I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make $8,000 this week. And I literally do everything I need to do to make $8,000 that week. And that's literally what you have to do. And that's the stuff that we're going to teach you at this event. And, so we can sell some damn help you out and, come to the event and let's teach you a bunch of, growth tools and secrets and have a good time and, have a couple cocktails maybe. And, yeah, it'll be a fun time. And maybe I'll even share my $300,000 email script at the event. So that might be a little secret there. And that's actually worth like over $1,000 alone.
Oh, his script. Jason says he's gonna make $200,000 this week. Yeah, Jason.
You got this, brother. But you might want to be a little more reasonable. No, I mean, you can do it. I mean, you just have to have 2 clients at $100K, and then bam, you got it. But
what's crazy in the high ticket world? Actually, the guy that I'm learning from right now, his first year he made over $200,000 from 2 clients. 2. That's it.
I made $120,000 for 2 clients in a year.
Yeah, so it's not too crazy.
It's not crazy at all. You can do it. You can do whatever you set your mind to. But you need to come to this event and learn and educate yourself, scale your agency, make some money. Let's kick some ass. And I look forward to seeing everybody in Orlando that's wanting to come to the event, wanting to learn. And, I'll definitely shake your hand. I'll definitely talk to you. Might even buy you a drink. But like that song goes, buy you a drink. But yeah, hopefully everybody wants to come out. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, are there concerns? Like, what's your reservation of going? Let us know if you have any questions or concerns. Jason said he made $50 from 1 client. Good job, Jason.
$50 off of 1 client? Come on, man. You got to get to this event if you only made $50 off of 1 client. I'd give you a good ass kicking. Come on now. It's actually funny. One of my clients called me today that's also coming to the event, and he's like, "You're gonna kill me." And I was like, "Why am I gonna kill you?" He's like, "I'm doing something for $400." And I was like, "What in the hell are you doing?" He's like, "Tim, I know. I should have done more. I should have charged more." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should have." But that's why he's coming to the event, because he wants to learn that stuff from me, and he wants to be able to scale his agency, and he wants to be able to meet the other speakers, and he wants to be able to grow his agency. He wants to be able to quit his job. And so that's why everybody needs to come to the event.
Yep. Well,
let's do this.
All right, guys. Our interviews are usually, or these interviews are usually 1 hour long. And I think we covered everything we need to cover. And yeah, click on my link, go to the event, meet these people, and yes,
buy a ticket.
In an intimate, small space, you'll meet all these awesome people.
And if you don't feel like you've got your money's worth, I'll give you your money back. You just got to come talk to me and say, "Hey, Tim, you know what? I don't feel like I got my money's worth. Give me my money back." And I'll be like, "Okay, no problem. I'll write you a check, and I will say, here you go, and we'll be good." So
all right. Okay.
That's how confident I am. So let's do this, and we only have 10 seats, and I believe we're good.
Okay, all right, cool. So we're done. I'm gonna click end live video. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it very much. I look forward to seeing everybody in Orlando at the Marketers Elite Mastermind on July 19th and 20th. So come to the event and let's do this.
Yes, and if you have any questions after this, you can comment here and Timothy can reach out to you, or just message him on Facebook and ask him questions if you have questions. I know some of you want to do white label with him, so go ahead and reach out to him. And yeah, I'm going to click end live video. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening.
Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.